Today is December 13th and it is 12:30 p.m. We begin with a roll call and we'll start on this end with Marcy.
Marcy Lemonnier. Susan Kruger Barber.
Jeff Olson. Matthew Christensen. I'm Eric Carter.
Jesse Embry.
Jeff Ringer.
All right, we have one agenda item today. Jeff Knighton requests a landmark certificate of appropriateness for window repair and replacement on a historic building in the DT1 General Downtown Zone located at 295 West Center Street. And Dustin Wright will be presenting for the staff presentation. Nope.
Uh-oh.
Would you like to borrow my microphone? This way.
Test. Is this working?
Yeah.
All right, so this item here is on the property located on 3rd West and Center Street. So this is right at the entrance into the Provo Historic District. The building here, the applicant is looking to do some window replacement and repairs on these windows on the exterior of the building. Here's an older image of the same property. The property that they're looking to do this on is, it's over 100 years old. They're looking to upgrade the windows and be more energy efficient while still maintaining the historic windows that are in there, just replacing the glass essentially. So they've identified the different window types on all sides of the building here and gone through and shown. I know these are probably a little hard to read, but they're showing essentially what's proposed to be replaced and what's proposed to be refurbished and repaired. And so essentially what that would be the glass, replacing the glass, and the window sashes, the part that touches directly onto the glass, replacing that with a double pane glass. The rest of the window frame, the sills, everything would be preserved and refurbished is what they're proposing. So here's other additional window types on the building. As staff has kind of reviewed the project, we found some older images that show, like, this is in the upper right hand or upper left hand corner. This is Center Street, looking at the property. So there was some old AC units that were there, and when those came out, it looks like some of the trim pieces and things weren't replaced. And so while the proposal is not to replace any of that, staff's review of this shows that areas like this, like on the right hand side where you can see some of those trim pieces weren't put back in place, staff finds that would be appropriate to replace those to match with the existing trim. If that's something that the property owner wanted to do, that would be appropriate. but it wasn't in their original plan. So it's kind of a new thing that came up as we were reviewing that. So that could be something that could be discussed with them today. Jump to the next slide. And then, so in the staff report, we just talked about, being supportive of the window change, but also wanting to make sure that the details and everything of the character's not lost with a new product coming in. So you can kind of see around the windows on the sashes here, there's on the left-hand side, you can kind of see like a little bit of a trim piece right next to the glass. When we looked at, in a few slides, we'll see some of the product that they're proposing to replace with. I don't know if those details are in that or if that's something that could be added to that product. And so that'd be something we can talk with them about as well. But really just making sure that we're not losing any of those details, the depth of the windows, the widths of each of those pieces that are going to be replaced with a new product. Just really ensuring that all that could be matched, and then that would be fine. And then over on the two images on the right hand side, just kind of show some, being an older building over the years, I'm sure there's been things that have made it so some of these older windows have changed, but you can see that there's one window here on the top right hand corner that doesn't match the same profile as those other three, the one next to it and the two and the picture below. So again, the proposal wasn't to make any changes on the window casing or frame, but on that one where that's missing, it would be fine to bring that up and match it with those others. And I don't know if they've planned that or not, or if they're just looking to replace those windows. Those ones are just painted. That's why they're different than the rest, but I'm not sure if their plan would be to keep them painted or not in their replacements. But that's kind of a review of the staff report items. And then here's those drawings they've provided showing the window types that are currently there, and then the product that they would be replacing with. Some more detailed drawings that we want to make sure we could see what those details would look like. And so I think that was all the slides. Texture here to also be able to discuss any questions you might have as well.
Dustin, I have a question. What in the staff recommendation is that for approval of the certificate of appropriateness with the condition that it meets the number 5 in the rehabilitation standards. Could you just review that with us so we are clear on what that is?
Yeah, so on the page 2 in the staff report and the findings of facts, I included those applicable design or standards that are in our purview to make sure we're following those. So I just kind of highlighted that one because it pertains to those details and dimensions.
Okay.
I don't know if I can jump back. Yeah, here we go. So just making sure that we're following that guideline and getting those details right, which they have been able to get some dimensions and everything, but I think there's probably just a few components that probably could be added to those, but I wasn't 100% sure based off of what I was able to review there. So those would be things maybe we could ask the architect and see what they're able to do to be able to match those details and dimensions of the existing windows with the part that's going to be replaced. That answer your question? Yeah.
Are there any other questions from commission members for Dustin before we turn the time over to the applicant? Okay, we'll go ahead and turn the time over to the applicant to give their presentation for the next 15 minutes. Should we do a point of order that Scott Bingham has arrived late?
All right. Thanks. Jeff Knighton, the architect. And then Steve Bond, the building owners here as well, can chime in. I don't have a whole lot to add other than what Dustin has said. And just to add to that the intent has been to maintain the historic nature of it. There's, in addition to the energy efficiency, there's just several windows that have been, Dustin showed, they've been painted over and closed off. And so trying to get as much daylight back in some of those areas. There's still a few windows where there's some mechanical things that aren't being replaced, but for the most part, most of those windows are being replaced with more energy efficient glass, and then just keeping all of the same trim and moldings and sills and all of that detail. We've been working really close with Pella Windows on the replacement of just the glass and then the sash right around the glass. Try to keep those dimensions as close, as possible to the historic windows, and that is the intent. We want to maintain the historic look on the facade, while just adding something that's going to be more durable and more energy efficient and extend the usefulness and that building in those spaces. So, other than that, I think we can just answer questions. I don't have a whole lot of additional things to add.
Any questions from commission members?
Could you review for us what materials you're looking at to replace the sash and other
So
elements?
it's a wood clad.
Clad wood.
Mhm.
Okay.
In your elevation drawings, did they identify which of those painted over windows are going to remain?
They identify the windows that are going to remain. It's on that south elevation. Yep, there's this. Yeah.
I also heard you're hiring a lumberjack for the city, so I came prepared to apply for that job.
Well
done. I just want to know if you've been in this building, there are multiple windows that have been completely closed off from the inside that you actually cannot access all the way through. The tenant there, Angel Studios and Drive Our Comedy, is choosing to open up those that make sense for them to open up, and then we'll be reframing the insides of those. But some of them will stay either obscure, they will not be painted anymore. That's when I bought this building originally in 2015, I believe. We replaced all of the single pane glass with other single pane glass on the upper because it was all painted, cracking. It was a real issue. But now we're looking to actually do a real, lift to the building, not just fix a problem, but truly do a big lift for energy efficiency and whatnot. So I don't know if that answers the question, but some you'll be able to see through, some you will not. On the back side of the building or the south side of the building, to Dustin's point, many that look like hung windows aren't hung windows, or the pieces that made them look like a hung window are now missing. And so we'll be putting grids back so that it's uniform throughout the building. On the back, they'll be black trimmed. On the sides, they'll be white as they are now. But there's that large mural on the south. To do white would be incredibly clashing with what has been done artistically there. So we'll go black on the south side, which is facing the parking lot anyway. So.
Mr. Knight, I'm wondering if there are any concerns with your firm or the owner to have to adopt, if we were to proceed with the staff approval or the staff recommendation. Are there any concerns on your part with that? Okay.
No.
And we're grateful that you're doing this to the building. It's awesome. Any additional questions or comments? Okay, I believe now we move to a period for public comment if there's anyone that would like to. Okay, then if not,
You want to entertain a motion?
yes, we entertain a motion. Thank you.
I'll make a motion. I move that we, per staff recommendation, approve the certificate of appropriateness. Let me get the text up here so I read it correctly. Approval of a certificate of appropriateness for the window repair and replacement with the condition that details and dimensions of existing windows are matched on replacements to follow standards for rehabilitation number 5.
I second the motion.
Okay, then at this point, we put it to a vote, and all those who are in favor of the staff recommended, as noted in the motion, say aye.
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 And any opposed? So the motion carries as recommended by staff.
Congratulations. Appreciate it. Exciting day. For lumberjacks and everything.
With that being our only agenda item today, this hearing is adjourned. Oh, we call for a motion to adjourn.
Motion, we adjourn.
In a second. And all those in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Any opposed? With that, we are adjourned. Thank you.